My wife cheated. My daughter knew. The day I found out, everything changed, including her college plans. The phone rang at 2:13 a.m. Not a normal ring, a vibrating, persistent shiver against the wooden nightstand, like the phone itself was nervous to deliver the message. My daughter's room was across the hall. I saw her door cracked open, leaking a thin line of warm yellow light across the floor. She was awake. That was strange enough. But the whispering was worse. I heard her voice drifting into the hallway, low, urgent, careful. Not the carefree tone a 17-year-old uses with friends. No laughter, no teenage excitement, just tension. Yeah, he's asleep. No, she's still out. She paused. Just wait. She said she'd come back before 3. My chest tightened. She? My wife? I didn't move. I stood in the center of the hallway, barefoot, heartbeat thudding in my ears, trying to decide whether to knock or retreat. But then I heard something that froze me in place completely. My daughter said, so quietly I almost didn't catch it, "Don't worry, I'll cover for her like last time." Last time. Last time. The words punched me in the ribs. I didn't step forward, didn't confront, I didn't trust my voice. I just drifted back into my bedroom like a ghost in my own home and lay down, pretending to sleep, letting her think I was clueless. But my eyes stayed open, listening for the sound of my wife's return, listening for the truth I already feared. The door clicked open at 2:47 a.m. Soft footsteps. The faint, unfamiliar smell of men's cologne. My wife whispered to my daughter in the hall. And in that second in the dark, staring at the ceiling, I knew. Something in my family had already snapped. I just hadn't admitted it yet. The morning sunlight felt harsh, too honest. My wife acted normal, too normal. She moved around the kitchen humming, making coffee, scrolling through her phone like she had nothing to hide. I watched her hands carefully. Controlled, steady, comfortable. A person only behaves like that when they believe they've outsmarted you. My daughter avoided eye contact entirely. She ate her breakfast faster than usual, grabbed her bag, and muttered a quick, "Love you, Dad." But even that felt corrupted. I looked at my wife while she sipped her coffee. Her lips trembled, not from guilt maybe, but from calculation, like she was deciding what version of herself to present today. She reached over, touched my hand, and said gently, "You okay? You look tired." I stared at the hand she placed on mine, small, warm, familiar, and felt nothing. No spark, no relief. Just a numbness spreading like cold water. Last night's whisper echoed in my skull. I'll cover for her like last time. Last time. How many last times had there been? I wanted to ask. I wanted to scream. I wanted to demand the truth. But instead, I simply said, "Long night." That was the first moment I accepted something quietly, painfully, undeniably. This wasn't a one-time betrayal. This was a pattern, a ritual, and my own daughter, my blood, had been protecting it. The betrayal wasn't singular. It was multiplied. It was layered. It was homegrown. It was happening right in front of me. I didn't confront. Confrontation gives power to the liar. Instead, I studied, listened, collected evidence like a surgeon cutting out a tumor inch by inch. I checked the phone bill, late-night calls to an unknown number. I checked her car mileage, too many miles for work late again. I checked her credit card, charges at restaurants she'd never mentioned, on nights she said she was exhausted. I watched my daughter too. She flinched every time my wife got a text. She always positioned herself between me and the truth, changing the subject, volunteering explanations, fabricating careless little lies she thought I wouldn't notice. But the worst part wasn't the cheating. It was realizing my daughter wasn't clueless or manipulated. She was helping. She was invested. She knew. She lied. She protected her mother from me, the man who raised her, worked for her, sacrificed for her, loved her. It wasn't fear. It wasn't confusion. It was loyalty to the wrong person. A loyalty built on secrets I had never been allowed access to. A loyalty that cut deeper than infidelity ever could. My wife kissed me goodnight every evening. My daughter hugged me. They both pretended everything was normal. Meanwhile, I was mapping out timelines, tracking patterns, saving receipts, building a file with calm, silent precision. I waited for the perfect moment. Not to explode, not to cry, not to accuse. Just to reveal. Like a surgeon holding up an X-ray and saying, "Here is the exact place where the rot began." The truth arrived quietly, not through a dramatic confession, not through a fight, through a video. One my daughter accidentally backed up to our shared family cloud. I don't know if it was stupidity or arrogance, but there it was, my wife stepping out of a familiar black car, laughing, fixing her hair, straightening her shirt, and then a man climbing out from the driver's seat and placing his hand on the small of her back with a confidence only ownership can justify. My daughter filmed them. She was smiling behind the camera. She whispered, "Mom, he's here. Mom, he." My stomach dropped. She wasn't covering a mistake. She was documenting a routine, a double life she had normalized. When the video ended, I didn't feel anger. I felt clarity. Cold, absolute clarity. I waited until dinner. We sat at the table, the three of us, laughing about mundane things. They thought the world was still in their control. They thought I was still the same blind man. I placed my phone on the table, pressed play. The video filled the room. My daughter's face went white. My wife's fork slipped from her hand and clattered against the plate. Silence. No one breathed. When the video stopped, my wife finally whispered, "Please, it's not what it looks like." I leaned back, calm, steady, surgical. It's exactly what it looks like. My daughter started crying, not because of guilt, because she was caught. My wife reached for my hand. I didn't move. Her voice cracked as she said, "We can talk about this. You don't have to." I cut her off with one sentence. A sentence I had rehearsed in my head every night for the last 2 weeks. "You both made your choices." Her face collapsed. My daughter looked shattered. And for the first time, I felt nothing for either of them. Revenge didn't come with yelling. It came with documents. I pulled out an envelope and placed it next to her plate. Inside were 2 things: divorce papers, a letter to the college financial office. My daughter's eyes widened, panic filling every corner of her expression. "Dad, what is that?" My voice was steady, neutral, surgical. I canceled the college fund. She shook her head violently. "No, no, Dad, please, this isn't fair." "Fair?" I repeated softly. "For 2 years you lied to me, covered for her, filmed it." My wife reached for my arm. "Please don't punish her for my—" "It wasn't your decision," I said. "It was ours, mine and hers. She chose her side." My daughter sobbed harder. "I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry, please don't do this, please." But apologies mean nothing when they're forced by exposure. My voice stayed calm. "You built a world without me. Now you can live in it." The room spun for them, not for me. Because revenge isn't rage. Revenge is clarity, delivered at the quietest volume. I moved out 2 weeks later. No shouting, no threats, no dramatic exit, just silence. My wife begged. My daughter apologized endlessly. Promises, tears, bargaining, all too late, all too hollow. I walked out the door with one suitcase and the peace of a man finally free from the illusion he had been drowning inside. People think betrayal breaks you. It doesn't. It sharpens you. It removes the softness you wasted on the wrong people. It gives you new eyes. Now, when I look back at that house, that family, that life, I don't feel sorrow. I feel accuracy, precision, truth. And the final line of my old life sounds like this: they taught me what loyalty isn't, and in doing so, they taught me who I never needed to be.
How could you do this?